I can see the meter from here. That's fine.
We got the red dot.
Yep, red dot's
Hey,
going.
what does the red dot mean? Because anytime I said action, the red dot disappeared. What, like?
It's supposed to show up. Just saying.
Hey, well, I am, my name is Sean Jordan. I'm the director of Teddy Boy, and this is Mary Mersaz, our producer. And so now you are being treated to some behind the scenes. So we've tried to avoid this, being in front of the camera as long as possible.
We have, and here we are.
But here, we're finally at this place.
Dag nabbit.
Hi, my name is Danielle Prawl, and I played Helene Jurgensen in Teddy Boy. And I am here with my co-star.
Kevin Sean Ryan, and I played Jacob Jurgensen. And
Married couple.
I thought it was going to be easier than it was, but it was a little bit of a Heart of Darkness shoot because we were shooting on a sailboat and we were shooting in the woods and everybody was dirty and tired and hungry, and I think it worked out well.
But no, what a fun process. I really enjoyed making this movie with the entire team, and yeah, it was there was a strategy behind this film in terms of three characters, a lot of locations, taking advantage of Colorado, the beauty of Colorado, using Roman Polanski's Knife in the Water as a template to some extent, and I don't know. I like the movie a lot. I still watch it and I still chuckle and I still laugh and I still am amazed, and but you know what? You're talking to the guy who wrote the damn thing. So like it's like that old saying, if your mama doesn't clap, who will?
anyways, so say that your question again. I lost the train of thought.
No,
oh, what
that's
did I
okay.
imagine some memories? Yeah, I did imagine some memories. When you're, acting in a movie, you have to create a character and you have a backstory. And, we met on the professional tennis circuit, and I wooed her.
So
I wooed
handsome
her.
and mature.
No, you were
and
so beautiful and pretty. I couldn't resist you. So we ended up getting married, and it was kind of the May-December romance, which is not unlike a lot of people. A lot of people have May-December romances, and it was great for a long time. And then we had a son, and something happened.
The story is semi-based on something that I experienced firsthand, and I was able to to kind of look out there and finally find somebody who is like me in at least physically, in Joey Bachiki. I mean, like finally I found somebody as good looking as me.
That must have been a struggle.
That was so difficult. Oh my gosh. Maybe I'm the only one laughing at that.
Moving on.
What I imagine too with our son is that neither of us could have seen it coming.
Mm-mm.
It was not a moment that had been played out in previous. Nothing was spoken about it. It really was an impulse choice, and it was final the first time. And so that adds to just the disillusionment and the how can this really be my life moving forward? I think part of my character I still haven't maybe even addressed the fact that he's gone.
I always think of actors as alchemists because, that ability to transform yourself into another is really a magical process. I think of it as alchemical, really, because, when we were auditioning actors for Teddy Boy, we had women reading the hardest scene out of the entire film, the epiphany scene on the beach.
Right.
And, those actors had to really dig deep for these big, deep emotions, and project them for you as the person auditioning them,
Right.
and for me as the person who is behind there running the camera. And I would just laugh. I'm like, I could never do this job. I could never just put all my emotional baggage on display for somebody who's sitting behind a camera
Sure.
going, could you give me a little more of that?
Well,
It
well, I
just
mean, yeah,
kills
no,
me.
no, it's true. It's really
Like,
true.
I had these realizations as I was watching these people. I was like, I could not do your job. I just couldn't do it.
It's tough. I mean, people handle loss in different ways. Some people, overdo something. They don't talk about it. I mean, I know a little bit about loss because I lost my wife in real life. And so I understand what loss is. And the only thing I know for sure is that you never forget about it, but time sometimes helps you a little bit, makes it a little softer. And yeah, I just can't even imagine losing a child. I think the child's probably the worst thing that can happen to you is losing a child next, and then your spouse after that, and then your parents. It's really tough, but that did help me emotionally with my character, actual loss in my life. And I wouldn't wish it on anybody. It's not a club anybody wants to join, but it really did help me through the movie, and I can understand what a couple would go through.
I had never made a feature film before, and it was my first feature, and oh my God, what an all-encompassing endeavor,
Well, we had a small crew. I mean, we had a full crew, but it was a small crew. And, we had to accomplish a lot in a short amount of time. And I think, I'm full of funny teddy boy stories.
I loved the experience so much. I loved the cast, the crew, the long days, the challenges, the terrain, the whole experience so much that it deepened my passion to do more movies, and I don't know that every film set has that much chemistry that that binds people so well that when you leave it's almost like tearing apart a family to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And I really miss that, and so I'll look for that and explore that and hope to have more experiences.
You're working in so close proximity to everybody for so long, and then when you wrap, you're like, oh my God, I can't look at these people anymore. Like I can't smell their farts anymore. It's like get me away from these people. And then like a couple weeks pass, maybe a month, and you're like, God damn, I miss them. Like I miss going to work and seeing them. I miss telling jokes and hanging out with them. And
thus a film addict is born.
that's what happens, And that's the cool thing about making movies that I think I miss the most, and particularly with Teddy Boy, is being surrounded by your friends. Going to work every day with your friends. I mean, we work minimum 12 hours every day. We don't make much money, like there has to be another reason for this.
We eat bags of vegetables.
If you're a curious person, filmmaking is fantastic because, like you've just picked things that you're interested in, like mid-century modern homes. I always liked mid-century modern homes. I know tons of mid-century modern homes now. I've met a lot of great architects. I've been in a lot of great homes. What a cool adventure. Like, it beats it, if I didn't push myself out there, I would be in my basement,
Right.
on Wikipedia. Like,
Yeah.
It
is a great adventure. And
the people you meet, like you said, the couple in Boulder, Kuba and I met that guy outside of Blackhawk with his magic comet water. Like,
But no, another location that I really liked was the house that we filmed in, our house.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was a very
right?
beautiful house. I forget exactly what style it was. Sean, can you tell me?
Mid-century modern.
mid-century modern.
Mid-century modern, very, very colorful inside, just beautiful place to film. And we were on location there for 2 weeks, 1 week at least.
At least, yeah.
2 weeks?
I recently ran into the homeowner, actually.
You did?
Yeah, which, if you remember Rick.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. I ran into him, and he introduced me to his friends as, you'll probably want to cut
Trophy
this out.
wife?
But he said, no. He said, oh, this is Danielle. Something about his shower, something I did in his shower. That's how he introduced me to his friends.
Oh, really? Nice.
And I was like, well, yeah, it's true, actually. I mean, it's...
You have to see the movie for that one.
Really deny it.
because one of which is the sailboat. The sailboat was rich with adventure and
Oh, yeah.
humor and terror for me because it was all my camera gear out on the sailboat. I do remember we had, so our support for the sailboat, we had a pontoon boat that we were, in support of the sailboat, we had a pontoon boat that we were kind of tracking the sailboat with the crew and with some gear. And we also had my inflatable raft. I have a 12-foot inflatable raft, and we would use the raft to shuttle lunch from the pontoon boat over to the people that were working on the boat. And I can't stop laughing about the boat. And that went better on some days than others. Let's just put it that way.
We had some physical challenges when we filmed Teddy Boy, and
Yes.
one of the first
Loved
ones, was the dive into the lake. And the only thing that freaked me out was that the boat captain, who actually drove the boat, it wasn't me, kept saying, well, every year somebody dives in and they have a heart attack. You know, they're usually about your age. I'm like, oh, thanks a lot, man. You know, I
The
really.
water is so
the
cold.
trepidation I had before I dove in that water was insane. I mean, I couldn't believe it, but.
What I do remember is once you were in the water,
Mm-hmm.
we couldn't get you back out of the water. You just wanted to be in the water for the rest
It's
of
a
the.
water baby.
Well, I got one last favorite boat story. It was the day that I had a near mutiny, and the closest I had crew mutiny was lunch. So we're on the boat, and we're like, we've been working hard, and it's, and my
Mike's getting hot. You're getting hysterical.
my
breaths.
father-in-law, I love Michael Cordes, by the way. I think Michael Cordes has, despite everybody on the crew actually enjoyed working with Michael, but he was doing our craft, and he could never grasp what being a vegetarian meant. It is outside my father-in-law, who's a huge meat eater's mind. And the day he sent in lunch, and it was like delicious fried chicken for the meat eaters. And then he sent like literally these like lunch packets with tomatoes and carrots and crackers for the non-meat eaters. And we're like, these sub sandwiches are delicious. These chickens. I look over at the vegetarians, and I swear they were going to throw me in the water. Oh, low budget filmmaking, everybody. This is something that I will always carry from this production, is that it's, I would say, one of the hardest things about making movies is finding people who have faith in you, who have faith in your ability and also the material that you present to them. And I'm fortunate to have a very caring, very supportive wife who does. But aside from that, it's Miriam.
The set wife.
So thank you. No, I'm serious. I mean, that is a rarity and something, Miriam, I will always cherish. And I want to say thank you for that, without question. And the project would never have happened without Miriam's assistance and her green lighting it. Really, I mean, that's the way I think of it.
Final scene, you talked about really enjoying the cabin, filming in the cabin, which I did too, and great set. That was just such
was
a
a really
cool,
good set.
moody set. And there is a fight that happens between you and Joey, our young male tennis star. So how did you feel, towards the end of filming? We've all been on set together for a month. Long filming days. How did you feel going into that, and what emotionally and physically did you experience?
Well, that was, as I said before, it was my favorite scene. And, I had to go to a very deep, dark place. Normally I'm a pacifist, I don't like to fight. I don't know anybody who really does, unless you're a UFC fighter, I guess, or something. But
I think they're out there.
yeah, they're out there. But, that scene emotionally took me to a very, very dark place. So that's where I wanted to be. And I think it's one of the coolest, my favorite scene in the movie. And physically, it wasn't quite as demanding as it looks, but emotionally it was a lot tougher. I think. And, you know, of course, you were in the scene too. What did you feel?
Well, the evaluation of emotion in the scene got very real during several takes. And at one point in time, you spun around to deliver a line to me, and the way, you know, I was genuinely shocked and was hit by the words that you were saying in the way that it would have been intended in real life, which is always a good barometer when you're playing an extremely high evaluation and you impact your fellow, you know, your co-star, your fellow actor in a way that's real. That tells you something, because on one level we all know that we're creating something that, you know, we're creating something that isn't really happening.
Right.
So to feel it wholeheartedly. And then one moment in the physicality where I felt a push from you, and I thought, whoa, this is the real thing. I'm going back. You know, I was rolling down the windows, and it was all, you know, it was what we had agreed upon it, and so everything was, and I was safe, you know, there was, I caught myself moving back, but the heat of the scene, the intensity of the scene became
intense.
very, very real. And Sean, the director, and everyone on set allowed us the number of times it took us to really get there and find the truth in our characters in that moment.
Yeah, it was really a cool scene. And, you know, and again, Sean allowed us to just go off the script a little bit.
So we just keep moving. I mean, we just keep pushing. And, you know, I think the goal is just like you wait until you find something that you believe in.
Yeah.
And then when you believe in it, it's that passion that pushes it. Like, that you can sit in front of people and pitch it and do so, not as if this is like a product or a way to get money, but like something like this. I honestly believe in this with my heart. And I think that kind of genuineness, people pick up on that. Like, it's
When it's burning a hole in my head, I have to make it. And you wait for those pitches where it's burning a hole in your head. Those are the films that you need to make, I think.
no doubt. And, you know, like for Teddy Boy, it was like, I had to make this movie, man. I was at the end of my rope.
Yes,
and
yes, you did.
and I was going to make it one way or another. If I would have made it with an iPhone. And, you know, it's when filmmakers approach me and like ask me to give them feedback or assistance, you know, I ask them, well, what's your plan? And, you know, if they don't come to me with that desperation hunger in their eyes, it's like, you're not ready. You'll get there, but you're not ready yet. I mean, you're not ready to like actually physically knock on people's doors.
I even tried to suggest to Sean, let's wait a year. We can, you know, work on this process. We can do more pre-production. We can do this. We can do that. You know, we'll pull this along. And he was like, he just looked at me and said, I have to make this movie. I have to make it now. And I was like, okay, then here we go.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, it takes a lot of frustration, I think, to hit that point. You know, and a lot of knocking on doors, a lot of doors slamming on your face. But when you're ready, it's fun to see that kind of hunger. And, you know, and conversely, if people come to me and they are like, I'm all in, and it's genuine. It is genuine. I am like, what can I do to help you, man? Because you know what, I've been there. I know what that's like. Let me see what I can do. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You know, I can't wait to make more movies. But I love movies. I love watching movies. I just love them. You know, I don't know.
Sean is a true cinephile.
It's
in the old-fashioned sense of the word.
As I said, we filmed the end of the movie kind of at the end, which is better than filming it at the beginning, because we've been able to go through each and every step of the movie. It wasn't filmed exactly in sequence, but when the end is the end, you know, it's close. When the end, it's the end, and you know, it's a big. You're right. It was a huge, intense, you know, scene, and you know, that's kind of the end. You know, it was the end of everything. It was the end of the movie. It was the end of us being together, and it was the end of something that may or may not start again.
You know, for me, I guess the number one goal for this movie is it's just to get eyes on it, just to get it out in the world, just to let people watch it. I think that I owe that to the people who you know, worked so hard on this movie. You know, it wasn't just me; it was you know, everybody, and their work needs to be seen. I mean, there's no question in my mind. So, however that transpires, and there's a number of avenues to make that happen, I'm on it. I'm on it. So, yeah, that's my goal.
That was also one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie to film. The very last, because of what happened, nature and, if you will, she heard us, and she heard us filming, and she called back to us at 1 a.m, which was amazing. In the mountains, cool air. I was still in my suit. It's nighttime. I'm outside calling, and I got a response, which was powerful and fun to play into that, So they tapped in to the realness as well.
I remember that. It was very cool.
Well, anyway, anything more? Any questions, guys, about us, about whatever, the movie themes? I don't know. I don't know.
Look who's here. Oh my
Oh,
God.
well, look who showed up. We're in Boulder.
There we are. Are we in?
So weird meeting you guys.
I can scooch over a little more.
Hey.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Yeah, we got to do this again. We have
Yes.
to. This was so much fun.
Quick, go write
One
something, Sean.
of best life experience list. This will definitely go on it. Meeting the three of you and spending some very consolidated time and having a very real life experience that was in the make believe world, and we put a great piece of art out for the world
think
to
so,
see.
too.
So I'm very proud.
I'm gonna cry.
Group hug. Group hug. Group hug. All right.
Come on, Sharpeville,
We hope you
please.
see it.
Come on over. Watch it. Come join us. There's room right here. There's room right here.
Joey, where are you?
I got a spot for you, Joey. I got a spot for you, Joey, right here. All right. Let's go eat lunch.